Yeah, what's going on? How are you doing? Welcome to this beautiful day, this beautiful video on Google Map and local SEO ranking factors that you can do to move the needle, or that move the needle, or that you can do. And more of this is based on what are the tasks that can be done repetitive or continuously to move the needle, as opposed to things that are just kind of like one time. So I didn't want to focus on the one time efforts, but more on what can continue to be done over and over again that you can do, or that your SEO company should be doing, or that I do. and that work, and they're in an order here. So what I did was there's a famous kind of questionnaire that a lot of SEOs will answer every couple years, and this is the newest one. And what I've done here is gone through this survey and taken out everything that's kind of one time with rankings, and I have made my own list of what actually moves the needle, that is the consistent, right? So it's my top 10 ranking factors that need to be done and can continue to be done to help you rank. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. These are action items, right? And things that you or your SEO company should be or can be doing in order, right, for your business. So with that, these are things that move the needle, and I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. So, number 10, positive sentiment in review text. So that means for number 10, we have getting reviews, but getting people to express or to write text in those reviews, right? So the more we can get customers to talk about what we did and express that they're happy in the review text when they write us a review, that's going to have an impact, and that's something that we can keep trying to get. Number 9, keywords in review text in Google reviews. So now we're looking at things like, if you're a plumber that offers hot water heater installation, if somebody puts hot water heater installed or installation, hey, such and such company installed my water heater or gave me water heater installation services, right? That kind of text in your reviews is going to have a positive impact on your Google rankings. So this falls into similar as the last one. Just being able to coach and help customers give you better reviews and write more in their reviews, I think is really, really a big focus of mine, and it helps. Number 8, click-through rate from search results. So what does that mean? That means people clicking on your result over competitors. So this is really good. This is like a brand building thing. This is where I feel like your brand is going to come in. If you have a really memorable or catchy brand, or you have a reputation in your local area, or just, over time getting your name out there and doing a good job, that's going to increase your click-through rate, which is a really positive signal. So something that you should be focused on and really trying to build up is just kind of getting your name out there in any way that you can and building up a positive reputation. So that's number 8. Number 7, internal linking across your website. This is more of a technical aspect. I wouldn't expect you to understand this if you're not really big into, how to run a website, and I don't expect you to know that. But that just means having inside the text links to other pages on your website. I'm sure you know Wikipedia, right? Like when you go to Wikipedia, there's always a ton of links to different pages, and you can usually read something, click on something, find something else, read something, click, and you can kind of just go through the entire site through all these little text links. Well, it's the same thing. We want to internally link to different pages when we're talking about different things, and that can have a positive impact on your Google Business Profile rankings. Very important SEO tactic and something that helps customers find more information without having to try to find it difficult through the difficult ways of searching your website or trying to find something they want. So that's really helpful, is having these internal links helps boost your Google Business Profile, Google Map rankings. Number 6, local links. So that means getting website links from other companies in your local area can have a positive benefit and have a positive impact on your Google Business Profile rankings. That's a kind of a link building. It's a little more advanced, but that is a good SEO ranking and something that your SEO company can be doing for you, or maybe should be. Number 5, volume of quality content on service pages. So this just is really having service pages, having pages that talk about your service, and having a decent volume of content there that talks about the services you offer. I think quality is the better piece of this to focus on instead of volume. I think quality is going to continue to be more important to Google than volume, but having those pages, having a lot of those pages, one for each of your services, is super important, and that will help you rank. So I think first here is just having service pages, and then the quality of the content on those pages. Number 4, recency of reviews. So not only just getting reviews, but how recent are they? Are we getting reviews today? Are we getting those reviews recently, or are they super old? We stopped getting those reviews. So that's a good factor in our Google Business Map rankings, is if we're getting recent reviews. Number 3, sustained influx of reviews over time, not in bursts. And that just means we don't want to get 100 reviews today and then 0. We want to get a few reviews, maybe every day, every week, depending on how many customers you have and the business you're in. Get a few reviews, and we want to keep that more as a steady thing than as a huge influx that then goes back down to 0. So that we're getting reviews over time. And because, I think we just got to point out, right? If you get 100 reviews in one day, all right, that means to Google that you've done something. You've probably gone out and taken an action that's going to bring those reviews in, and it's going to dampen the effectiveness of those reviews, right? Whereas because they're going to see this giant peak and they're going to think something is off. That's not normal. So if those 100 reviews would have been spread out over 3 months, you could have got a much bigger impact from that than by getting 100 reviews in one day, right? And it all depends on how many average you get on a month, let's say. But yeah, getting a couple extra every month, that is much bigger than getting one spike. Number 2, quantity of reviews with text. So the text in reviews, if you're getting natural reviews, you're going to have some that don't have text. I think that's actually a good thing. But all that being said, getting reviews with text in them over time, right? And how many of the reviews you have that have text in them, that's a marker for Google of how to rank you. So you want to try to get reviews that have text in them. Variation, I think, is the key, right? You don't want, if every review is a novel, that's going to be a red flag. If every review is just stars and no writing, that's going to be a red flag too. So, but generally the reviews with text, that's going to be what you want to go for. Okay, and then the number one ranking factor is the number of reviews that you have. Or sorry, the numerical Google rating score that you have. So being in between that 4 to 5, maybe the 4.3, 4.4 and up, that's a good place to be. Closer to 5, the better. But if you have under a 4, that's going to make a big difference in where you are going to rank on Google. So I find if you do a good job and you're getting reviews, you're going to probably have a pretty high score, right? Because people who are naturally inclined to care about reviews typically care about their customers, and then caring about your customer means that most of your customers are going to give you a good score. So you're going to have that high score. But if you start finding that you're under that 4, that could really have a big impact. And if you get down into the low 3s or even the 2s, that can be dramatic. So it's almost to me like just having the high score puts you in the game. If you have lower than that, then you're going to have a huge negative impact. Otherwise, just keeping your score up is going to put you in the game. So this, I think, is a really good, good way to understand some of the different things. And I think I made a little bit longer here. I have 14. So I have topical keywords on the website, geographical keywords on the website again. So there's a lot of website content factors that play a part here. We can see that reviews kind of come first. Then we have backlinks in the website kind of falling in second. So this, I think the point of this to me is like, what can we keep doing? So I just split this down the middle, right? You have the fuel and the fire, putting the right content on your website, helping coach the client to getting reviews and understanding how reviews work, and helping you understand, you need to get reviews with text, right? You need to get reviews regularly, right? But then like for me, it's like creating content, right? That becomes the biggest piece of what I'm doing, but it's just fuel because you see these reviews are more important. But then then once you start getting those reviews, if somebody's doing your website and your content, not only does that help your customers get a hold of you and want to call you, so that's huge, but it helps Google as well. And like I say, for local SEO, it's fuel to the fire, which is the reviews. That's the spark. And that's why I probably don't charge as much as most people charge for this kind of service, because I am fuel. I cannot rank you without you doing your part and getting reviews. But once you start getting reviews, I can heap onto that with the fuel that I am able to add. So, generally, my local SEO services are pretty inexpensive until we start adding link building onto that, which is important. But I usually say we can get a lot of distance without the link building through the website and the Google Business Profile and building that trust. Then we can add link building into that once you have some investment coming in, right? And we can do that. So hopefully this just gives you an idea of how Google Maps works, how to get ranked on Google Maps, and what's most important versus least important. And these are all very important. Let me say, this is from the top of the list. This doesn't go to the bottom. I only took the top of the list. So all of these are very important, but that kind of gives you an idea of what we can do over time, what's moving the needle for your Google Business Profile rankings, and how you should be thinking about local SEO and the work being done on your website or for you for local SEO. I have a download Google Maps, local SEO, how to rank on Google Maps, right? On our website. It's a free download if you want to learn more at brightbeamseo.com, or you can always email me, josh@brightbeamseo.com, or sign up on the website. I'd love to talk more about your business or just anything business, marketing, SEO related, and how I can help you build something that makes you money, right? How to make more money. That's the point. All right, cool. We'll see you tomorrow.